Well, the DA and the ANC are set to meet today amid tensions over a proposed VAT increase. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana announced the plan in his 2025 budget speech last month. The Treasury says it needed to boost revenue as well as reduce debt, but critics warn it could hit the poor the hardest. And talks come as the ANC meets with other parties this weekend to discuss this very issue. Action SA, BOSA and Rise Mzansi all backed the fiscal framework last week, but only with conditions. And Action SA was keen getting it passed through Parliament. The outcome of today's meeting could then shape the future of the VAT proposal as well as broader budget plans. Well, as promised, our reporter Samgele Maseko is in Sandton where the meeting is currently taking place. Let's take you live to him now. A very good afternoon to you, Samgele. So tell us exactly what is currently happening at this meeting. What can we expect at the end?
Well, Alicia and Charlie, the meeting is done between the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance. They did meet earlier on today to iron out the differences they've had in the GNU and for the ANC to voice out its displeasures with the apparent double standards of the Democratic Alliance of playing government and opposition at the same time, which they pretty much can't oppose the same government that they are in, which are some of the discrepancies and the grievances that the ANC has with the DA. And in particular, the DA has some issues with the fiscal framework of the current government, particularly on VAT, on issues of Operation Vulindlela, and they also want a stake in the pie of the economic trajectory of the country. But I'm going to bring in ANC spokesperson Ms. Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri just to essentially speak on the content of the meeting. How was the meeting? Was it cordial? Who attended on behalf of the Democratic Alliance and on behalf of the ANC? What was the composition of the delegations like?
I would choose to use the word collegial. And we had from the side of the ANC a delegation led by our Secretary General, attended by 4 other national officials, National Chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, the Deputy Secretary General, number 2, Marubin Ramkhupa, and the Treasurer General, Dr. Gwen Ramkhupa. And then a number of other NEC members, the Chairperson of the Economic Transformation Committee of the NEC, Zugo Kodlimpi, Ngegekekana, who also convenes the Communication Information and Publicity Subcommittee of the ANC, Pax Tau, who is responsible for a number of things, local government intervention, but also is Minister of Trade, Industry and Industry. And has been very key in the negotiations, even the past negotiations. Other members who could not make it were part of the negotiating team: David Makura, Phoebe Potgieter, and Deputy Secretary General number 1. So that is the composition of the ANC delegation. The DA delegation was led by Helen Zille and John Steenhuisen, and we had a number of people such as Dean McPherson, even Mayor, and all of those people, there could have been about 1 or 2 other colleagues. Yes, the Deputy Minister of Finance. And it was a very senior delegation from both sides. And the meeting reflected on what we articulated in our statement as the ANC, reflected on all of those issues. And of course, we also spoke about the budget impasse and what it is that we might do to resolve the impasse in the interest of national unity and stability in our country.
Did you find consensus, particularly when it comes to the issues of the fiscal framework and the budget of the country, knowing that they have vehemently opposed the budget that they are ultimately presiding over?
Well, let me frame the thing around the answer to your question, Samgelo, around the fact that this is not the only meeting or the only party that the ANC has been meeting with. We've been in meetings for the past 4 days, grueling meetings with all parties that are represented in the national legislature, except for the MK party, the ATM and the UAT, which one of which we are going to be meeting tomorrow, together with the other parties that we are meeting tomorrow. So it has been a wide-ranging discussion, including discussing matters that you have raised particularly with the DA. So our discussion with the DA was similar to the rest of the parties, but extended in the sense that we are partners in the Government of National Unity as well.
What are some of the extra points that you had in your discussions with the DA, particularly on issues pertaining to Operation Vulindlela and the sensitivities that they would have wanted to have an influence in the country's economic trajectory?
Well, we are still involved in the process of negotiating, so I'll be loath to spoil the negotiating process. The ANC itself, after having met all the parties, will have to take the report to national officials who are going to develop a view on what should be the way forward. But I can confirm that the matters that you are raising were part of the discussion, including, of course, some of the things that are public, that we've raised in our statement, such as how cabinet ministers, all of them, regardless of the party they come from, how they should deport and how they should stick to the oath that they've taken. So those are some of the things that would have been discussed.
Is the DA staying or leaving the Government of National Unity? Did you pose that question to them, particularly in how they've acted in opposing a budget of their very government they are part of?
Well, we didn't use those exact words, but I must say that that question is best responded to by the DA. The DA has been, public also, restating their commitment to the Government of National Unity, but I'm not their spokesperson.
As the ANC's point of view, judging from the negotiations and the discussions you've had, do you see the discussions going further with them, or do you see the discussions going further with the likes of your economic freedom fighters, your other political parties like Rise Mzansi, Action SA, BOSA?
The ANC has kept the door open and is still doing so. And so whoever still wants to speak to the ANC in the interest of the country, and I stress that, the door is still wide open. But we have done the necessary consultation. Whatever happens out of these negotiations will be an outcome of that consensus-seeking process. I'm not able to anticipate what the final outcome is going to be.
Did you project the issue of the NWC proposal to the NEC of the reconfiguration of the Government of National Unity? I saw the Deputy President Paul Mashatile addressing the Chris Hani Memorial as well in the Eastern Cape. He touched on that very same issue. The Secretary General at the press briefing after the NWC, he touched on the reconfiguration of the GNU. Did it feature in this discussion today?
Yes. Yes, a categoric yes. Because the reconfiguration, we said we are hitting the reset button, and part of which is to have a stronger GNU, whoever is in that Government of National Unity in the final analysis. A stronger GNU governed by rules that work, governed by certain protocols, and ensuring a strong measure of accountability. The existing mechanisms of the Government of National Unity being reassessed, including the GNU clearinghouse, establishing other mechanisms to strengthen the stability of the Government of National Unity, whoever is in that government.
So it's basically to weaken the influence and the power of the DA in the GNU?
It is to strengthen the Government of National Unity so that it can drive service delivery, ensure that there is predictability in terms of our governance architecture.
Your response as the ANC to the MK party refusing to meet with you over the domestic issues that they see between the ANC and the DA. What is your point of view with the MK basically saying, no, we're not going to meet with you?
We invited parties, as we did with the statement of intent at the beginning, which led to the formation of the Government of National Unity. They elected not to come. It is their democratic right. We have nothing to say to that.
So you have received the letter from them confirming that they will not be meeting with you?
We did receive the letter. We read the letter out among ourselves, and it is what it is.
Thank you very much. That is Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri, the spokesperson of the African National Congress. They're highlighting that indeed they will not be meeting the MK party. They met with the DA. The discussions still continue. They're still meeting with other political formations. Discussions continue as well tomorrow.
And of course, we do not know at this stage how the DA is actually feeling. That is SABC News senior political reporter there, Samgele Maseko, alongside the ANC's national spokesperson there. Of course, that is Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri.